Hey, Mike. So here's what we got. We have a center at 4 and 8, right? We have a point, which is an x and a y coordinate. We'll probably use that. We're also told that the horizontal major axis is of length 8, right? And remember what that means. So that means like the shape of this thing is going to be like that, right? Very roughly that. And from this point to this point is 8 units, right? That's 8 units. But for us, remember, for our A, we got to take half of that. So we're going to go with 4. So let's kind of write out our thing, right? Remember, it's x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k quantity squared over b squared. That's going to equal 1, right? So what do we know? Well, let's fill in a bunch of this stuff. We know the center is at h and k, so this is going to be minus 4 minus 8 over here, and I hope it's okay that I just do this in real time, save a little space. We also know this point, x and y is 6 and 6, but we also know that half of 8 is going to be a, right? So let me just eliminate this a squared, and we're just going to put 4 squared in there. Now we don't know b squared, but we can use these other points, 6 and 6, and maybe, hopefully, we'll make some headway there. So I'll just pump this in. All right, make some room here. Okay, so we're just going to start working this out. Nothing too crazy. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 squared gives us 4 over 16. That's downstairs. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4 over b squared, and that still equals 1. Now what I'm going to do is just subtract this 4 over 16 from both sides. So that's going to eliminate it on the left, right? And we have to do equivalent fractions. So instead of 1 over 1, I'm going to make this 16 over 16. So what we're going to end up with is, pardon me, 4 over b squared. And that's going to equal 12 over 16. And what this is a proportion, right? We can cross multiply this and go from there if you want to. So 4 times 16, that comes out to be 64. I'll put that on one side of the equal sign. And then we're going to have 12b squared on the other side. A little more algebra. We're just going to get b squared by itself. I'll do it up here. B squared is going to equal, what do we get there? 64 over 12. Which we could reduce that down, right? I think we can reduce that. Divide by 4, what's that, 16 thirds? So b squared equals 16 thirds. Now that's weird and wacky, of course, but that's b squared. That's all we need. I don't need to square root this or anything else. So we can go back up here. We're going to replace this very sloppy thing with, instead of b squared, we'll just pump that in. That's 16 over 3, right? A couple other things we could do and probably should do to clean this up, if you wanted to pump in that whole equation now. Let's put the x and y's back. So it's like x minus 4 quantity squared over 16, right? We should square that out because we can. That's going to be plus y minus 8 quantity squared. And then again, we'll just leave that over 16 thirds. I know that's wacky. And that equals 1. So there you go, buddy, right there. When I was looking at your results, I think this messed you up. Just remember, you got to take half of 8 and then square it to get that value. That can throw a lot of people. And then a lot of people kind of just get lost in the weeds with all this fraction stuff. But remember, once you get b squared or a squared, depending on the situation, you can just stop and blast that right into your equation. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other problems with this one.